visit, and I couldn't have a better guest.
How many people did it take you to get to me? I need to know that.
5.
Rude.
But they will be released in whatever sequence. We haven't yet finalized on that. But I have a very special guest today, amazing lady, well achieved, too achieved if you ask me. But there's no such thing. So I'll let her introduce herself. She's the amazing Mona Lisa Zipowa. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that well, so I should do justice.
Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Mona Lisa Zipowa. The BW has to be, it needs to come from the deep ashes of your belly, like Zipowa.
Zipowa.
You're missing the W though.
I am learning.
But yeah, my name is Mona Lisa and I am a graduate student in the Katz School of Science and Health, studying digital marketing and media. This is my second semester. So yeah. What else?
Second semester?
Yes.
Ooh.
Second.
Interesting. Well, for those who don't know, I'm in my third, and it's not nice over here. Trust me, you want to be in your second semester.
I don't think so. I think the only nice spot is the first, because there you're learning things, you're oblivious. Like you hear about job worries and you're just like, yeah. When I get there, I already have something. Exactly. So first is the nice spot.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Where are you from?
Zimbabwe, Harare.
So, young Mona Lisa in Harare, growing up, how many siblings, how's the family structure? Give us that picture.
I come from a family of women only.
Wow.
So that's 3 girls, so I'm the last of 3. Very smart, too smart, if there's anything like that. So by the time that I was going to school and achieving all these things, it had already been done, right? So even when you come home with all this distinction, somebody has already done it. You pass your final O-levels or A-levels and you get all the A's and they're like, oh, well done. But it's already been done by 2 people before you.
It's not new in the family.
So I think even when I talk about what people say, my success or my achievements, people think I'm downplaying them out of humility. It's not, but I just feel like it's been done before. So like, okay, cool. Yeah, we've heard it.
That's a very high bar, because now it's like, okay, I have to do something that none of you has heard of or even seen. So I hope you have some really high bars on your radar.
I don't think so. I think I live my life very freely. I've sort of tried to liberate myself from standards or what people deem as achievements. So even when people talk about goals, they're like, oh, I want to, achieve this, be a millionaire, be a billionaire. I'm just like, no, that's unethical. Don't do that. Like, I'm just chilled over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Harare throughout school?
Yes. So primary and high school Harare. No, actually, I did my high school outside of Harare because it was a boarding school. So most boarding schools are out of the city because you need a place with bigger land to house all these people.
Catholic girls' school?
Oh no. Mine was a Salvation Army Mission school, so it was mixed actually.
Oh, no.
I feel like you need, and I'm realizing this, I'm doing this data compilation where I look at all the people that I've dated in the past and then I try to see who went to a mixed school and who went to a single sex school. Because people who have gone through mixed school in puberty, they have better character development because there's something that's being laughed at by girls in your teens.
Trust me, there's something there. Okay, so the school was out of Harare. Take us through uni. How is that experience?
So varsity, I then moved to South Africa. I did my varsity in Johannesburg at the University of the Witwatersrand.
How do you pronounce that?
Witwatersrand. So the spelling is actually Witwatersrand, but because it's Afrikaans, it's Witwatersrand.
Oh, so they also do their W's like V's.
Yes.
Sounds Indian.
I don't know what
is that? Which guys do the W's like V's? Anyway.
Yeah.
How was that experience? So that was like your first experience living out of home.
Yes. Living out of the country. Home, I had done that in boarding school, but living out of the country, definitely. It was culture shock is real, hey? I think that was my first experience of culture shock.
Yes.
Because Zimbabwe tends to be somewhat conservative. I think now things are changing with, social media and how we then just start to merge countries and everything is sort of like boundaries are diluted and all of those things.
World.
Absolutely. But at the time, it was a bit of a big adjustment because I was coming from boarding school where we have routines for everything. There's literally a bell for when you have to eat breakfast. There's a bell for when you have to study, when you have to stop studying. And then now suddenly it's like, go be great. Do what you need to do. Attend class if you can. If you can't, sure.
That freedom is actually what shocks most people. Like in second year uni is when the good girl goes bad. The good guy starts, second year is when you're like, oh, look at all this freedom I have. What should I do with it? And, things start getting interesting around that time. So you spoke of culture shock for a while, and I'll take you back to like that perspective. What was your first one in essay? Like the big first one that stood out. You're like, what is that?
I think just the idea of freedom, man, like people exploring their identities outside of their parents, whatever that looked like, whether it's your like relationships or sexual exploration or just identity. Who am I? Who do I get to be? What do I like? Dress code, even simple things like that. Nice. They definitely do rock you.
Nice. So finished that. That was in law, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Studied law.
She's a lawyer by now. In case she didn't say.
I almost never say it. Okay,
so fast forward, then you're like, did you work after you?
Yes, I worked for 5 years. So I worked in human rights space with special focus on refugee law and immigration law. Because I really liked working with like disenfranchised groups, people that were not really, they didn't have a lot of attention because that's not where most of the money is.
Yeah.
A lot of big law organizations or law firms tend to go corporate, commercial, because that's where the big money is. Yeah, literally companies funding all of that. Whereas with refugee rights, there's so much need to amplify those voices, but very little attention to it because there's less money there. But I fell in love with it because I think being in South Africa myself as a Zimbabwean, I was an immigrant. So I sort of understand the processes and I knew what it meant or what it felt like to have to go to just a bank to open an account and have your life interrogated like you stole something, like you want to rob something, like I'm just here to get my money.
Yeah, I understand. So you spent 5 years in that career, right?
5 years, yes.
Okay. Did you go back home? Or it was like essay,
So COVID changed obviously how everybody worked in the world. So our offices at the time, I remember we closed down a lot of the offices that we had, the office space that we had, and only left it to like the reception and something very small. So I started working from home. I stayed in South Africa for a bit, and then after a while, I was like, why am I here if I can be home and still maintain the same job? So I moved back to Harare, continued working, and then that was it. So I've only ever worked in South Africa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
He's moving the mic, guys.
Yeah, I need. Anyway, so fast forward, graduate school. Yes. First, tell me about that decision, like the process leading up to, you know what, it's time to do a master's.
To be honest, there's no deep story for me in that. I feel like whenever people ask you like, oh, why did you move? People expect this very like traumatic, sudden change.
It could be a nice reason.
I just got bored because I felt my specialty was such a niche corner of law that felt like I didn't have much room for growth beyond that, especially in the companies that I was getting access to. So I just felt like, let me try something else. And this came because I have a friend from home who had come the fall 2024. And I was like, yeah, I'm at Yeshiva, this is what I'm doing, do you want to come? I'm like, yeah, sure, let me just try it. And then
literally the first person who was like, yeah, I'm bored, let's go do a master's.
I'm telling you, there was no epiphany, there was no huge moment, there was no deep passion for marketing. I didn't know what marketing was. I thought marketing is advertising. Sorry to my professors. Now I know better. But at the time, I just thought marketing is advertising. I was like, okay, are we going to be making ads? And I was so down for that. I was so down for it. And then I knew like in my classes there was gonna be like, they would ask me what I wanted, why I wanted to study marketing, or those icebreakers in class. So I literally chat GPT like, why would a law person study marketing? And then my one answer in all those first classes was, I want to use digital tools to amplify access to justice.
This is how much it's changed. She went, this is like a semester later and it's still.
I didn't know. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know zero. And so it's only when I started taking the classes and like, honestly, thank God for brand marketing, brand management rather, and thank God for Professor Eric, because I feel like his classes, being in my first semester, were really such a perfect introduction to what the world is all about. So then having someone who humanizes the program and tells you what like the projects that they've worked on, the companies they've worked with, you start to see what marketing can look like for you. Nice. And that's how I think eventually I actually fell in love with marketing. So it was really by accident, but it happened. Nice. Thankfully.
So New York, first of all, how was that? You came in the winter quarters.
Yeah. It was freezing. It was freezing. I didn't right things to wear. Like I had all the jackets, right? But like I didn't.
Jackets never work.
They don't. They don't. And no one tells you this. Nobody tells you that you need thermal underwear, thermal leggings. Nobody tells you all of those things.
Yeah.
So you just think, I just need a coat. And you think the coats that you came with from Zimbabwe work here. They do not. They do not. But I think winter did really rock me. But after that, it was okay. I think I'm one of those people who's okay with winter. Yeah. I don't especially love it, but I'm okay with it.
I love winter. This summer thing, nah. So I knew about the cold. Like I over prepared for the cold. My roommate even keeps telling me, "Bruh, you made me buy all these fans and these heaters." And like I was like, winter, because I spent some months in Toronto. So I was like, and that was like April, May, June, July. So I was like, if it's this cold in April, imagine December. So I was like, prepare winter, impress yourself. I was prepared for winter and it came out, was like, this is not bad. The thing I didn't even see or even think of was summer. Mm-hmm. I did not.
No one tells you about the American summer because we think it's just,
normal temperatures.
And it's humid.
It's hot. I was like, what the hell is this?
You can feel the heat in your brain.
I did not. That was something that like blindsided me. I was like, what do I do? What?
I literally cut my hair beginning of summer because I went out with Amy one day. I'm wearing a wig, just a normal day. It got so hot, I felt like I was burning. One of my housemates can cut hair. I was like, Enoch, do it. I was like, no, we can do it tomorrow when it's light. Because it was in the evening. I'm like, no, now, do it now.
And that's how hot summer is. A girl cut her hair off. That's but honestly, that was something else. I didn't. So winter is not bad. I miss the winter, please. Though I've been told this one may be extreme, so who knows? So you're in Katz now. So you spoke earlier about Eric and how the class kind of opened some eyes for you and showed you what digital marketing is. Mm-hmm. First, draw us, because you've started in Zimbabwe, you've started in South Africa. You have like a three. You can give us the contrast from three different perspectives. First, tell us how is the teaching in, let's say, Katz school versus the ones we are familiar to back home, Harare, the Ugandas of this world, and let's say South Africa. Could you like paint that picture for us? The teaching, the environment, the culture, how the content is delivered first and foremost.
I think the first caveat I would put to this is that I studied in these countries at different stages.
Yeah, there's that.
So even if I compare, it's me comparing Zimbabwean primary and high school education to American master's education. Okay. So there's that difference. Yes. Yeah. But what I will say is here, I think, or it is for the marketing program that I'm doing, there's a lot of focus on like industry practices. They want you to be able to apply it in the industry. So it's not necessarily heavily on coursework or research. It's mostly how do you then make these skills useful in the market. So it's more practical, it's more project-based, it's more group-oriented, even like literally just teaching you how to work in a group with a team and how to navigate those dynamics. Whereas when I did my bachelor's, I think in the 5 years that I did it, we only had like one group presentation or one group project because it was just individual work. So can you be a lawyer? Can you stand as a lawyer on your own 2 feet? Can you do that alone? Can you do research? Can you study? Can you question things? Can you interrogate ideas that you think you hold? So it's sort of unfair to compare the countries because I was in those countries at different stages and doing different programs.
Oh, interesting. Let's compare culture shocks.
Nah, this is not or at least by the time I came here, I was grown, right? And by then, I sort of social media also does help. So you almost know enough about the US before you even get to the US. Like I literally knew everything before I got here, or even the places that I wanted to shop in as a girl would.
Yeah, New York has a lot of, so if you're not disciplined in your shopping sprees, you will go bankrupt. So I like to talk community and identity. So throughout this whole process, first of all, who's your community? How's family backing? What are they telling you? Like from the decision, hey, mom, dad, sisters, I'm going to uncles, whoever you're telling, I'm on to New York. How? What's their reaction? What is that like? Are they, oh, let's go? Are they cautious? Are they, because most of us when we come from, it's like, yay, our son has made it out of that. You're like the trailblazer, and now everyone is looking at you like, but anyway, that's from where we come from. But even just the support, some be scared, some be cautious. Paint first that picture, because that's a very heavy process for a person going through this. It's not easy to just pack up your bags and leave everything and everyone and move to a different country. So how was that for you?
I think for me it was quite easy because, for starters, my family knew I had done it before, so I'd been an international student before. So there's very little that changes. It's just a change of area code, but you've done this before, so you can do this again. But also, they are also very well traveled. So that familiarity or that comfort that they have in their own experience and their own backgrounds sort of then reaffirmed me, or they would then reaffirm me to say, you can do this, it's just a new area. I don't think there was any worry. Look, I'm grown.
You'll be shocked.
I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. I would know what to do, surely. So definitely there's a big part of that, like, dude, you're just grown. Go do what you need to do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So identity as Mona Lisa. How do you think this September, the 9 months you've been here? Is it 9 years?
Yeah.
How do you think you've grown, changed? Has the city changed you? Because it's New York, good girl, gone bad, or whatever Jay-Z said, and all these other things here.
I think the one thing I have loved about myself is more open-minded or accepting of New York. When I came here, I didn't really like it. I didn't like how fast-paced it is. I didn't like the rush, this urgency. There's this sense of urgency in the subway. Everywhere you are, people just rushing from one place to another. I didn't like that because I felt like it was really destabilizing my nervous system. And I think it probably still is, but I sort of got to appreciate just having a sense of purpose. Like all these people are individuals who have their own they are working towards. One person is leaving home at whatever time they leave. They have an objective that by the end of this day, I need to have achieved this, and they're going at it, no matter who they have to push out of the way. Right. So I then had to look inwards and say, what's my vision for this? What's my end goal for this? What am I hoping to get out of this? Because then if I'm just sulking all the way until the semester ends, then surely this was a bad investment, right? So I really had to then readjust my mindset, readjust my attitude. That also then helped me get out of the house more because I tend to be introverted in a way. And I don't really like leaving my home. But seeing what other people were doing, seeing how driven other people are, I started looking for places to go, be it for networking, be it for just leisure. You start to do more, see more, and enjoy more. And it opens your mind to new people, new ideas, and a new way of life.
And I love this about this city because People say, yeah, if you can make here, you can make it anywhere. And I never understood what that means, but I always see it, I always saw it from like maybe how much access the city has, like things outside you. Like maybe there's businessmen here, it's the fintech capital of the world, it's the finance capital of the world. So maybe the access, maybe I'll meet some great people, maybe whatever space you're in, be it even the UN officers are here, so you're into advocacy, that's what
It's
I always
everything for everyone.
exactly. That's what I always thought they meant. But as I've been here, while I start to realize it's also because what the city makes you become. Like you become the person who's exactly what you've been saying, goal oriented. You go, you're faster. You're literally faster than everyone.
Yeah.
You're literally more than like the person you become just by this is not something that you're even like working towards or even conscious that you're becoming. It's just that you walk from the 33rd Street every day and it becomes normal and you're realizing it's like, and it's up until you leave and you're like, wait, the thing that I was doing normally that wasn't even registering.
Yeah.
In other people, it's like a whole lot of.
I took a train with a first year student and we're just talking. So I was walking with him going to school. And then he says, do people ever say you walk too fast?
And you're like,
he literally had to catch up with me every 5 minutes. And this is a guy and he's super tall. Like his feet and strides are longer than mine. But I'm just going, I don't know. Oh, I've become a New Yorker.
Exactly. The city makes you something that you don't even, it's not like it's on your goal or on your vision board.
Yeah.
No, you just find yourself becoming something that, and then you get out of the space and now you interact with normal people, for lack of a better word. And it's like, okay, I am. So I like that about this. And that's something I didn't actually anticipate because I used to think that everything that I would become is something I'm conscious of, that's something I'm working towards, something I've put on the to-do list or kind of something. But there's, like, I would say the 50-50, let's take, of the things that will make you, make it anywhere. You can make here, you can make anywhere kind of person. You won't even know they're happening. They won't even register.
It's that nature-nurture argument where your environment actually shapes you a little more than your DNA.
Do you think you'll live New York?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I feel like there's so much to do here. There's so much to explore. There's so many opportunities, and it has to be, if I'm leaving this place, it has to be for something better in a way. So whatever direction my life is going at, whatever city I then land in has to be better in realizing that goal at that stage of my life.
Interesting. I'm actually scared that my first America experience was New York because it's like
after this what then?
Nothing else will make sense. Like it's a legit worry. Like I'll go to Chicago or whatever because they tell me that's like the second. Outside New York is like the second city, like skyscrapers, buildings. Yeah. It's like the second closest you get to New York City. The rest, Cali is big, but it's not city. It's just suburbs, huge. Yeah. So it's like, will I ever?
You need to go to Idaho.
I mean, like, like, oh no, I mean, but I like that. I like that about New York City. So, on the last point of identity, who you've become, it's now 9 months. If you to look back at the January Mona Lisa in quotes from winter quotes, there's a picture we saw of some Ugandan friends who had come in the winter and they took, like when they literally just picked them up, they took a picture with their coats at the World Trade. God damn.
There's a picture. Go on the Flickr. Look at the orientation picture.
Oh yeah. Oh, that crowd, the coats. Look at like, yes, this is.
I looked at those pictures. I was looking fine. I would like just.
And then it's like months later, you buy like the actual winter coats. Because I will blame the information back home. But nah, you'll be fine. But anyway, so now you're in cat school. First of all, congrats on 9 months.
Thank you.
Not everyone has made it. Has it changed the way you look at the world now?
Okay. So there's okay, that's a very, or at least my answer feels loaded. I think my interactions with cats have been affected by how, like, the composition of the students at cats.
Oh yeah.
because right now we have a huge concentration of African students, and those African students, most of them are Zimbabweans.
Yeah.
So then you then start to see the things that we do well as Zimbabweans, and then you also start to see the things that we don't do so well as Zimbabweans. So those interactions have sort of shaped where I am right now and the things that I'm trying to work towards and the things that I'm sort of hoping to or am currently partnering with the school to sort of try and help students. How do we help African students just break out of their shell of shyness and timidness and there's a certain way that we are raised back home that won't necessarily translate well here, or it won't make us competitive in this industry if we're going to look for jobs, or if we are to become whatever professionals we want to be it marketing, be it data analyst, or whatever you choose to be. So it sort of then helps you to unpick and understand where people are coming from and how you can sort of help them, because you don't see it when you're in isolation. And then you move to the US and there's a group of Zimbabweans that are with you and you're also Zimbabwean and you're like, we are such a shy and timid sort of coy people. Very loud in our homes, very bubbly in our social circles, but come presentation time, lower voices, stuttering, we are uncertain. And it's not an attack on our personhood or who we are. It's just sort of
the culture
we grew up in, where we are conservative, we are not forthcoming with ideas, we're not forthcoming with just educating people or audiences to what we know. Those are some of the smartest people, but you just want them to sort of break out of their shells.
Exactly. So like I was telling people, one of the biggest problems most people migrate here is I'll speak for Africans, I'll speak for Ugandans, I'll speak for myself. It's that it's not that we don't know. Mm-hmm. Most people think it's a knowledge gap or it's a skills gap. Mm-hmm. No, most likely we're more skilled than most of these people. But it's that we don't know how to talk about what we know or mm-hmm. present what we know or show up as we know.
We've only had to defend ourselves on paper. So our system back home requires that we defend things on paper, so the tests, the examination. Yeah. So if you give people a paper and say, write what you know, they do so well. But when you then just say, explain to me the project that you worked on last week, it's a difficult ask because now it involves confidence, it involves people skills, it involves interaction, and those are things we've never had to work on more.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I hope DMM is teaching.
They're doing well. They're doing their best.
All right. So I would like to spend first of all, I have a 5-round question for you. And then tell us about uni ambassadorship.
So I am serving as a student ambassador for the Shevet Global Center, HCC. It's a career and professional development center at the katz school, basically working to assist students with career readiness. So I get to then be the student liaison between the SGC and the katz school. What that entails is assisting students with resume reviewing, interview preparations, how to network, how to build a LinkedIn brand, how to just show up at places and be the best candidate you can be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's actually what we need the most, because at the end of the day, if you don't show up,
exactly.
We have a saying in Uganda, Atali Otagwira Muti, which direct translation is whoever is not around does not have the tree won't fall on them. I don't know why they use that, but that's actually watching a stand-up comedy about.
It sounded like it had something to do with drinking tea.
So Muti is a tree. So that's actually watching a stand-up comedy about African proverbs and how but the meaning is always deeper. So the meaning is basically, if you're not there, mm-hmm. if you're literally not, the mm-hmm. 80% is just showing up kind of thing. If you're not there, you will not get the opportunities. You not so we need that. If you can teach people that, then, and I'm glad that the school has something for that. Mm-hmm. So as we wrap up, Madam Ambassador, are you ready? 5-round question. These are going to be random.
Okay.
I'll start off simple. Voice notes or 30 paragraph text?
Paragraphs.
Really?
Yeah. Write it down. Express it.
No.
Not like your grammar as you do it.
Okay. if you had to compete in the Olympics, which is going to be hosted in America next year, in any sport right now, which would give you the best chance?
Sleeping.
That's not an Olympic sport.
I will make it a sport. Sleeping. I will make it a sport.
Okay. Would you rather have a conversation with your past self or your future self, but only one gets to remember it?
Only one gets to remember it.
If you have a conversation with your past self,
Uh-huh.
only one of you gets to remember it. Conversation with your future self, only one of you gets to remember it.
Future.
Then the future you remembers it or not.
I feel like the options suck.
Okay. So, if you could invent a new holiday, what would it celebrate?
So my favorite holiday already exists.
Oh, which is that?
World Refugee Day.
Is it a public holiday though?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just marked on the calendar.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
I
if we
would
invent a new holiday, what are we celebrating?
World Siblings Day. I feel like it's somewhere there, but I don't think it's marked as a public
should
holiday.
be.
Yeah, I think there should be. Just one of those like, oh, girlfriend's day. But it's not really a thing. I need people to take the day off for World Siblings Day. I think siblings really, they're your first friends and they sort of shape how you see the world. And you don't see it happening until you move away from them. You're like, oh wait, this is...
Yeah. Okay. If you could listen to one decade of music forever, which would it be?
Coldplay.
1 decade.
Oh, 1 decade.
Also nice for Coldplay. I was
know.
almost seeing them and then some tickets things didn't happen.
I was so happy about that, because I knew I would never hear the end of it.
You
went to a Coldplay show
would-
and I did it.
Trust
I would
me.
never hear it. I was so happy. I was just like, yes.
So 1 decade of music forever.
2010 to 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Mambo rap?
I feel like...
Oh wait, yes, that's Mambo rap era. That's EDM. That's Lady Gaga.
That's also Young Money.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the best decade for hip hop, I think.
So you're a hip hop girl.
Yeah.
Nah.
Or at least in that era. Like your
would
old
do-
Drakes, your old Kanye's.
There's
your
no
old...
alternative music in there. There's like literally no one. I think Paramore tried towards the last end of and then that was it.
But it just makes sense. 2010 to 2020.
I would pick 2000 to 2010, like the decade before that one.
Oh.
Because like the earlier, the start of the decade is different from the end. But this one's like, I feel like I've been listening to Mambo rap since like 2010. Like
What's in the early 2000s?
Oh, that's like your alternative Creed, Coldplay, R&B, Asha Raymond, come on, Britney Spears. And then towards the end, we get like hip hop and Justin Timberlake and Lady Gaga. Like it moved a bit. But 2010 has been like Young Money, some new version of
That's
Young
all
Money.
I need. I just need Young Money. That's all. Everything else, yeah, it's okay.
Okay. What animal are you unreasonably afraid of?
Cats.
What?
But it
I
has
apologize on behalf of us.
It has stopped being an unreasonable fear, because I think now my tolerance has grown.
Yeah, it's an animal
Yeah,
city, pet city.
exactly. But before that, I was just like, there's no need for an animal to look like a lion and then look like it has contact lenses. No.
And then be slick.
And then we sleep.
Okay.
No need. Absolutely no need.
Next question. If your life were a rom-com, what would the title be?
Ooh, my favorite rom-com is Indecent Proposal.
Ooh.
Robert
that's
Redford, God rest his soul. He died recently. I think I just like it because he had money.
That's not a metric.
That's my metric for romance. It's just this sweet old man with money. But he's not like disgusting old. He's just like, like a tad. This is a school podcast.
So what's Mona Lisa's rom-com called? Decent money proposal? I don't know.
We'll work on the name.
Okay. And my final question. What's a book you pretend to have read but actually haven't? I'll start. I pretend to have read Pride and Prejudice. I watched the movie. I think I read Romeo and Juliet. That's it. I pretend to have read. What's that thing?
For me, the Harry Potters.
Yeah, and those ones I don't even pretend. I'm like straight up. I haven't read that stuff. I don't like that. I couldn't even watch the movies.
Just pretend, but the thing is, I don't even know the names outside of Harry Potter. But yeah, definitely those.
Yeah, to make you feel better. Even the movies felt. That's how.
I think I watched the first few, and then after that, I was like, I don't get it.
Me neither. I didn't.
So I just.
Sorry to Harry Potter
Sorry,
fans.
yeah.
Please
I feel like
subscribe
we're
and
going
watch
to get hated after this. We're so going to get hated after this.
All right, Mona. It has been fun. Thank you for coming too.
Thank you for having me. This was really nice.
And I don't know when this comes up, but when it does, please reach out to her. She's going to help you with everything she said. And she's worried about the life. She's the one pure soul I know on this campus who actually means well.
That's so kind.
So
that is so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
That wasn't a good one.
What?
Yeah.
I loved it.
We're waffling like friends.
That's the whole point.
And that's the whole point, but I don't think it was informative.
Oh no. First season is not mainly like, oh, here's a bunch of info. First season is to normalize